All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Essential Island Living BOGO after party. This is an event that we like to put on after BOGOs just to make sure that everybody is getting the best use out of all of those amazing deals that they got. And what happens a lot of time in BOGO week is that we buy an oil we love, and then we sometimes might get a product that we're or oil that we're not as familiar with. And this particular BOGO week, I think that might have happened a couple of times. And then also with, but then there was also like Serenity Balance. Everybody is really familiar with both of those. So really excited. So far, this is our best live turnout yet for our BOGO after party. So that in itself is something to celebrate. Tells us that people are starting to utilize this Zoom platform a little bit more. Before we get started, something that we do on our weekly builders call, and many of you here are builders, so I invite you to join us, stay on with us. Actually, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to shut the Zoom down and then restart it so that I can record these calls as two separate calls. But I do invite everyone to jump back on after this call if you're a sharer builder, as we continue to look at the train to premier and silver guide. But one thing that we always do on that, well, I shouldn't say always, that we've just started to do the last few weeks of our calls is to do a little ritual with our oils. And so I invite you to partake if you wish, and if not, it's fine. But grab an oil that's close to you, or one of your faves, or something that you're just vibing with right now. I grabbed Beautiful, the Captivating Blend. And really interestingly, Tay scanned recently for both Beautiful and the Emotional Blend that has osmanthus in it. I'm trying to think which one it was. Maybe Reassuring Blend. Anyway, we take 3 big inhales. We rub in our hands. And we put our left hand over our heart. And you can say it with me or repeat after me or just think it in your head. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can. Okay. All right. Thank you for choosing to join us in that. And listen, if that felt awkward, it's even more awkward being the one who leads everybody through it every week. But I have to be honest, if you're not using your oils paired with some sort of emotional support you're giving yourself, you're really missing out on a huge way that these oils can benefit us. 2 of the oils this week, actually 4 of them this week. Okay, fine. All of them have an argument to be huge emotional supports, but 4 of them, in particular, the cheer, the motivate, the balance, and the serenity, are designed primarily for emotional support. So I really encourage you to find an affirmation or 2 or 3 and take time every day, because as wives, moms, sisters, daughters, teachers, all the hats that we wear, grandmas, whatever it may be, aunties, we all can remind ourselves how awesome we are, and how we're really, truly just doing the best that we can. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive right into the content. I'm going to share my screen now, and if I remember how, here we go, share my screen, and I'm going to take it away. So let's see. One thing I want to say before we get started is that this is not a we know everything kind of call. This is us sharing really kind of basic information about the oils. And I want to encourage everyone to comment. And I don't know that I'll see your comments, to be honest, the way this my screen works, but I'll try to go back, loop back in and check them out. Comment, unmute yourself, and share with us a way that you've used the oils or a way that you've experienced a lot of success with a particular oil. I think that's the way we learn best. And so while we're going to share a lot of, why am I on this already? Hold on, you guys. While we, oh my goodness, this is going to drive me crazy. I'm so sorry, you guys. While we get the PowerPoint back up, while we that are your team leaders have obviously knowledge about these oils, we definitely want to hear all of the different ways that everyone else on the team is using them. So please feel free to unmute yourself, interrupt us, comment, and share away. The next thing that I want to say before we get started too is that just keep in mind that everyone's biochemistries are so different. And so when we talk about the way these oils can support our bodies, we want to keep in mind that we don't all have the same reactions to oils, and so to a specific oil. And so, for example, the first oil I'm going to share is lavender. And I feel like lavender is probably one of the most popular and commonly used oils, and it's often used for its calming effects, its ability to sort of help reduce feelings of anxiousness, promotes restful sleep. And when I first started oils and I didn't really know what I was doing and I didn't necessarily really believe in them, people would tell me to use lavender for my son, and it had like zero effect on my rambunctious 3-year-old boy. And what I've realized over time, which is so true, is that that oil didn't work for Zai. He's never and never will be, probably maybe later, a lavender guy. But man, balance and vetiver and some of our other calming oils are more woodsy, herbaceous oils. Those do a lot more for him to help calm him and soothe him, frankincense and so forth. So just a reminder as we go along through this entire presentation that, although we might share how these oils support, you might have to try several different oils before you find what's right for you in any given situation. But lavender has amazing properties, as you can see there. It's a sedative, an antihistamine. It helps to relax, soothe, regenerate. It's antibacterial. So one of its primary benefits that I think I use it for in my family. And lavender is actually kind of Tay's jam. She loves lavender. She's moved on to peppermint, though, I have to say, is really how supportive it is for the skin. It's one of our most gentle oils, and it really is helpful for skin irritation. So if you see below on the uses, when you talk about sunburn, cuts, scrapes, burns, bug bites, wounds, blisters, when it comes to skin, you can't go wrong with both lavender and melaleuca, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. When you take internally, lavender can reduce anxious feelings and promote peaceful sleep. I don't know for sure if it's lavender, but I know that Diana rubs something on her big toe every single night to help kind of connect her brain to that essential oil and kind of help it wind down, get ready for sleep. So in lavender, it just has this calming, soothing effect on people. So again, some uses: sleep, stress, anxiety, and then some other common uses are for nosebleeds and pink eye. So for something like pink eye, you never want to put oils into your actual eye. So you would take like a cotton ball or like a warm washcloth, make like almost a compress, and just rub gently or like place on top and let it sit there. Lavender and melaleuca are ones that I often recommend for pink eye. And then you can't see it. I think it might be cut off from all of this junk on the bottom. Oopsie. But it's also, well, no, I'm so sorry, you guys. It's also helpful. Oh my gosh, I keep going forward. I'm going more forward. This is so okay. So lavender is a really popular oil. Now, I don't know that everyone is going to do this tonight, and I hope that those of us that are sharing have our emotional reference guides available. If not, I can definitely reference them. I'm not going to read it all, but from the Emotions and Essential Oils book, the connection with lavender is this ability to aid in verbal expression and helps to calm the mind. So it really just helps support individuals in releasing tension and constriction that stems from perhaps withheld expression. Some of the negative emotions it can support are helping with blocked communication, fear of rejection, racing thoughts, emotional dishonesty, a feeling or fear of being insecure, unloved, and unheard. So it's in a lot of our blends, including Serenity, which we'll talk about later, but it's one of our really popular oils. So if you bought a lavender, you got a free petitgrain. Now, before I continue, does anyone want to share real quick about lavender and how else it supports them? It's also part of our allergy blend and balm. So lavender, lemon, and peppermint are popular oils that when used in conjunction are helpful to support allergies. All right, I'm going to move on if anyone wants to jump in. Okay, so if you bought a lavender, you got a free petitgrain. And I don't know about you guys, but this is not an oil that I use very often. It comes from the bitter orange tree, but interestingly enough, it doesn't come from the flower. It comes from the twigs and the leaves. So it's comes from the twigs and the leaves. And I was looking on some of the doTERRA product support sheets, and it says that once the plant matter has been distilled, it's used to fuel the boilers for future distillations or as mulch. So doTERRA in their distillation of these plants tries to use as much of the leftovers in other sustainable ways as well. So this is a really interesting oil and an interesting pair actually, because based on their chemistry, they have almost identical chemistry. Lavender, I wouldn't say identical, but very, very similar. Petitgrain is often known as like the man's version of lavender just because it has the same properties but a more herbaceous scent. It's definitely doesn't smell citrusy, and that kind of makes sense because it doesn't actually come from the fruit. It blends well with a lot of oils, though, including citruses and other minty oils such as eucalyptus. Here are some of the top properties. It's an antidepressant, antiseptic. It can be very uplifting. Primary benefits, it's known to support at least 5 major body systems. So cardiovascular function, it provides antioxidant support, it supports our immune system, and it can help promote a restful sleep. So some of the uses though, just like lavender, because the constituents in the chemical compounds are so similar in them, they help to support bacterial infections and wounds, spastic cough and congestion, convulsions, seizures, weakened nerves and insomnia, palpitations, which I find very interesting because I will have sometimes get some heart palpitations. And it's also supportive for the skin as well. Anybody use petitgrain often and love it and want to share about it? Or I see Diana kind of shaking her head over there. Diana, I'm going to come back to you and unmute you real quick. Do you use this oil a lot?
I use it quite a bit because I have a couple of friends that are allergic to lavender, so I have to check our products very carefully. And when I'm doing the aroma touch, I can't use the aroma touch or the lavender because they've got lavender in them. And I substitute petitgrain, and I make my own mixture that has for the aroma touch all the items except the lavender. So, you know, I interchange them. Sometimes I've added the petitgrain into that one too.
Nice. That's a great tip. So if lavender is not your jam, if you have a certain reaction to it, you know, it just doesn't vibe with you, petitgrain can give you the same similar type of support in a different version. That's awesome. Petitgreen is the oil that supports ancestry and invokes a deep appreciation for positive forms of knowledge, wisdom, and family history. And so it's a great aid in healing complicated family history. So for those of you that might be experiencing any family drama, you might want to grab a bottle of Petitgreen and use it appropriately. Petitgreen can be used aromatically, topically, and internally. So it is one of those really versatile, awesome oils that we have. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click to the next screen, but I think who's next? Oh, this is Aisha. I'm going to unmute you, Ui. Hold on one second. I'm coming for you. All right, there you go.
Okay, awesome. So moving into the emotional blend oil. So the first one, this BOGO was for Cheer, which is an uplifting blend, and Motivate, which is an encouraging blend, although both support multiple emotions, but I guess all upward, right? So Cheer is the first one, and this one's the uplifting blend. It's gladdening, which I haven't heard that word in so long, illuminating, and resilient. So its main ingredients are wild orange, which helps to energize the senses and helps to encourage and counteract discouragement. Clove encourages feelings of confidence and emotional balance. I don't really know how to pronounce the other one. I know star, obviously. Is it anise? Anyways, that one and ginger, they both have potent energizing properties. Lemon myrtle has been shown to improve mood and increase feelings of focus. And then we also have some nutmeg, vanilla. I mentioned ginger earlier, cinnamon, and I definitely don't know how to pronounce the last ingredient there. But these are all supposed to be like soothing and like uplifting for the emotions as well. So primary benefits of this one, it promotes feelings of optimism, cheerfulness, and happiness. Also helps counteract negative emotions, feeling down, blue, or low. Some uses, or when would you use this oil if you're feeling feelings of depression, discouragement, hysteria, anxiety, overwhelming emotions that maybe you need a little bit of help with. I actually used this one today. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed with everything that was going on. But it's good to just take a moment and, like Liza said, use your oils. So these two oils are going to be used topically and aromatically. So when you're using them topically, great points to put them on are your pulse points. Easy one to remember is that nice wrist area there. It's very easy. I like them behind my ears or behind my neck as well, but usually it's arms, so I use the wrist or I use the middle of my arm as well. But yeah, so you're going to be using it topically or aromatically, and that can be as simple as what we just did just now and breathing that in. Liza, I don't have my book on me, but we'll get back to the emotional part of it, or did you want to mention something real quick?
Oh, yes. I'll just real quick. So it's a blend of citruses and spices, and I think it's anise. I think it's star anise.
Anise.
Yeah. And I remember when it came out in the Mother's Day kit, and I think I was anise. So it's anise. All right. So, and this is just a blend, like you said, to support those who are in need of cheerfulness. It's just really helpful for individuals who feel heavy-hearted or have been weighed down by many challenges in life. I'm going to kind of hop out of my chair real quick. I thought I had here's my emotional wheel. So this is an emotions wheel that goes along with this emotions book. And so this is a great way to see what, when you're feeling certain emotions, when you want to feel certain more positive emotions or negative emotions, what oils that you can use. But yeah, it just helps to encourage individuals who are overcome by feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, and overwhelmed. And then obviously, this doTERRA touch roller is designed to just be used topically. If in a pinch, you could pop the top and throw it in a diffuser if you needed to. But I like what Aisha said, and just to real quick, one of my favorite ways are two of the ways that she mentioned. So it's to go from my crease, so go in my crease all the way down to my wrist and then back up again. So she mentioned both of those as pulse points, and I love them both. So, okay, next slide.
All right. Motivate was the next one, and it's an encouraging blend. So motivating, that makes sense. It's energizing and believing. I really like this one lately, although the scent grew on me. So it kind of has, to me, it smells like kind of chocolatey. I don't know. Anyways, but I like it now. So peppermint is one of its main ingredients, and that one promotes clear breathing. Is it clementine? I'm having a hard time tonight, but it's uplifting and energizing. Coriander is simultaneously relaxing and stimulating, which is interesting. Basil promotes feelings of focus and stress relief. Yuzu is a Japanese citrus fruit that is uplifting and refreshing as well. And then Melissa is also in that one. That's a calming effect. It also helps calm nervousness and has a positive effect on your mood. Rosemary is encouraging. Oh no, it's energizing, and also settling. So all of these are kind of helping to stabilize you is kind of the way that I see how the oil helps you, and helping you to propel yourself forward. So it helps promote feelings of confidence, courage, and belief in yourself and in what you're doing. It counteracts negative emotions of doubt, pessimism, and cynicism. So the uses below, obviously when you're feeling in the lack of confidence, courage, or motivation, helps with focus and overwhelm. But a little further down, I was reading, and it helps with digestive issues. So that was one of the most interesting ones that I found when I was reading about it. And it says as far as that, like you can apply it over your abdomen and also on pulse points or on the bottoms of your feet. And that was one of the most interesting different uses that I found for that one, because I've mostly used it for emotional support. But it helps with physical exhaustion, digestive issues, and then also bronchitis and asthma, which was interesting to me too. That's it.
Thanks, Ui. I think one thing to point out though is that there's a graphic, and I actually wish I nabbed it somewhere that shows how these oils can also support the body physically. So yes, these emotional oils were designed to support the body on the emotional level, but there are obvious physical ways that it can support. Like for instance, when you look at the peppermint in there and the basil and the rosemary, like some of these are such great oils to support the digestive system. So it's not surprising that it's in there. They're also very supportive to the respiratory system. So when you see things like bronchitis, so, in a pinch, don't be afraid. Like if you're traveling or you only have your Motivate and you're having a hard time breathing or you're having an upset stomach, it will not hurt you to still try to substitute this emotional blend in a way to help support your body physically.
That's exactly what it reminded me, was that like it's more than just emotional support, but it can also be used for physical support. And then if you don't always have the exact one you might think, there's all these oils in the blends.
Yeah. It's it's pretty awesome. And that's the same to be said for the oils that we use. Like, I don't think a lot of times people think about necessarily peppermint or On Guard as like emotionally supportive oils, right? We think about On Guard primarily as like an immune boosting oil, and peppermint as tension and digestion. But On Guard is it's a protective blend, not only from, germs and bacteria and virus, but also from negative energy and helping to sort of ward that off. But now I'm taking over Kanan's oil, so I'm going to back off a little bit. Okay. All right. So moving on. Listen, I thought that this was one of the most incredible deals to get these two oils for, if you ordered on your own or through somebody, for anywhere from, well, it was $16, right, for both of them, and then your tax and your shipping. But I mean, what an insane deal when you're talking about stocking up for gifts for friends and family. You couldn't go wrong with this BOGO. I think it's the kind of BOGO where everybody kind of goes, oh gosh, I should have picked up a couple more of those in hindsight, All right. The next oil is oregano, and I don't think Keisha is on. And this is her oils. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about oregano, but I was not prepared to talk about oregano. Doesn't mean I can't talk about it. I'm just saying I was not prepared to talk about it. So before we get started, oregano is a hot oil. So you want to be careful with using this oil. It's really powerful. It is nature's most powerful antibiotic. So when we think about really serious cold and flu and so forth, you really, this time of year especially, I mean, people are just going down, and like this weather is just so crazy. Oregano is really a powerful oil that you want to get into your repertoire right now. You can see it's antibacterial, antifungal. It's just a really heavy hitting oil. It's used as a powerful cleansing and purifying agent, supports healthy immune system, healthy digestion, and also respiratory function when actually used internally. And it offers powerful antioxidants when ingested. And so both clove and oregano are those two oils that when I think about antioxidant support, immune support, I'm always going to think typically about On Guard and oregano, and the On Guard, it's because of the clove in there. It's really powerful for virus and bacterial infections. It can also help with things like, you can see strep throat, staph infection. I think that's supposed to say MRSA and not MESA. On Guard. And so On Guard helps with a lot of these as well. You'll see parallels to On Guard. Intestinal worms, international worms. Okay, guys, sorry. We didn't.
I'm sorry, and I've been having the worst luck with autocorrect, and I
No,
swear,
it's
like,
fine.
even when
It's
I read through
actually
it,
pretty
it's
funny.
just
At least
me.
I know,
Okay.
you know, what it means. But worms and parasites, warts, calluses, canker sores. You always want to dilute though when putting on the skin for those things. Pneumonia, tuberculosis. It says here boosting progesterone. Athlete's foot, anything fungal, melaleuca and oregano are really amazing for. And LMNO. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to find the emotional. Anybody want to share anything about oregano? Please feel free to unmute yourself.
So while you look for your
Yeah.
part, because you said about diluting, it's a hot oil. So yes, it's definitely a hot oil. However, it could be a good thing, because this might be a TMI, and my dad would kill me for sharing this. But
well, you just put him on blast. You didn't have to say it was him.
My mom actually burned the skin tags with you know how some people get skin tags like under their arms or like on their neck, and she burned them off with oregano.
Oh, wow.
So that was one thing about oregano that I was going to share while you look.
Okay.
And then the other thing was it's also great for cooking. I don't know if it was on here or not, but the tip that I learned the hard way was that 1 drop is like almost too much. So then just swiping your spoon, like the back end of your spoon over the cap, is plenty. So that's kind of just a little tip.
Thanks, Maris. That's awesome. I love that. So I'm guessing the skin tag thing was like okay because it worked, but then not okay because it was probably a little sore.
Well, it's painful, but even when you get it off, like, you know, professionally, they're burning them off. You know, they freeze burn them off. So it's temporary pain for it, and then it just falls off a couple of days later. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
We won't tell your daddy.
Won't tell anyone.
All right. And then the emotional connection to oregano just supports humility and non-attachment. So it just helps cut through the fluff of life and teaches us as individuals to do the same. It helps us to remove blocks, clears negativity, and cuts away negative attachments. It's really, as we've already mentioned several times, a powerful oil. And it may even be described as forceful or intense. So for the physical body, for the emotional well-being. I think this next line is really funny. Oregano addresses a person's need to be right. So this is not something I suffer from personally, but if any of you suffer from the need of always being right, then you might want to consider, using a little bit more oregano in your life. And I promise I won't tell your husbands or significant others, about oregano's power to help you deal with your need to be right. No, but it just helps us to guide through being maybe a little bit more humble, being more willing, teachable, flexible. So that's the emotional connection. All right, moving on to melaleuca. So this to me, I mean, all of the BOGOs were so good, but oregano and melaleuca are, I feel like two of the like oils that are under, like, you know, we're all like breathe and on guard and serenity and balance, but we really should be like oregano, melaleuca. Just a quick heads up that doTERRA is making an actual little change to melaleuca, and they're just going to start calling it tea tree oil. If you notice, and I noticed this over the 5 years of teaching about oils, is that I'll say melaleuca, and then as soon as I say tea tree, people are like, oh yeah, tea tree. So there's a whole little video out on why they made the change, but just so you know, doTERRA is going to start to transition from using the melaleuca to just calling it tea tree oil. Okay, super powerful, super cleansing, antiseptic, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. I mentioned earlier, similar to oregano, like with the funguses, the athlete's foot. But when you look down at the uses, pretty similar to oregano. Now, on the flip side, melaleuca is a very, very gentle oil. It's an oil along with lavender and frankincense that you could put on a newborn baby. It's so gentle to the skin. Just the other day, I was doing a membership overview with somebody, teaching them how to use their oils, and I put a drop right on, like I got a bad paper cut. So it's really renowned for its cleansing and rejuvenating effects on the skin. So paired with lavender, it's my Aoi blend. Add a drop or two of peppermint, it now becomes my after sun spray. It's just really an awesome, awesome oil. Some people use it for spot treatments, for dark spots or, you know, pimples, acne, whatever. But melaleuca, lavender, my Aoi blend, add a little, and some frankincense, add a little peppermint, and now you have an after sun spray too. It helps to promote healthy immune function when used internally. It's part of our flume balm, which, how is that going to work now? Because if it's flume, frankincense, lemon, oregano, on guard, melaleuca, now we call it tea tree, is it going to become flute? I don't know. Food for thought. Functions, we can ingest this to protect against environmental and seasonal threats as well. Again, same support for cuts, wounds, scrapes, another bacteria, viruses, diarrhea. There's athlete's foot, candida issues. So again, fungal issues with the athlete's foot. Sore throat, tonsillitis. For sore throat, I would apply topically on the outside of your throat. I personally like lemon and thyme topically on the outside of my throat, but you could also use melaleuca. I would also just gargle with warm water and a drop of melaleuca. You could even put it in a pinch of Hawaiian salt to help bind it. And, you know, Hawaiian salt is really helpful too when you have a icky throat. Ear infection. So melaleuca and basil are two oils that I always go to for ear support. Never want to drop oils directly into your ear canal. So you can put melaleuca or basil around your ear and behind and all the way around. And even you can rub some inside. You still want to drop drops right inside. Then what I always do is I put a drop on a Q-tip. I pull the Q-tip top off and I just wedge it in the kid's ear or my ear while we sleep, and I swear it's worked every single time. Again, acne, pink eye, staph infection, and MRSA. Aisha got that one right. Bronchitis. It's also supportive for oral health in the way of cavities and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and look up melaleuca real quick. Does anybody want to talk about melaleuca at all?
I did want to mention something from a dental standpoint. I've had a few patients use melaleuca on like if their gums are flaring up, if it's the start of gingivitis, or if they feel like a gum infection is setting in, because I work in a periodontal office, and they say that it has actually helped them get through the night until they can get an appointment the next day or whatever it is. So from a dental standpoint, I've had positive feedback on melaleuca.
Awesome. Thanks, Kanan. Anybody else? So from a emotional standpoint, melaleuca is known to help support energetic boundaries because it's a disinfectant by nature. It helps to clear negative energetic baggage. So who's going to start walking around waving Melaleuca around in front of them, probably a lot of us. It specifically releases codependent and parasitic relationships. These toxic relationships may be with people, it may be with microorganisms that are in your body, or it could be with spiritual beings. So individuals may feel drained of life force and energy, but they may not be consciously aware of the source of this energy leakage. Melaleuca helps break the negative ties in these kinds of relationships so that new, healthy connections may be formed that honors one's personal space and boundaries. This energetic vampirism between organisms violates the laws of nature. This is like legit in this book, you guys, and it's in quotations, vampirism. Melaleuca encourages an individual to connect to people and beings in ways that honor and respects others. It helps individuals recognize the parts of themselves that invited and allowed these kinds of relationships to exist in the first place. So through these empowering processes, Melaleuca encourages us to relinquish all forms of self-betrayal, including allowing others to take advantage of our time, our energy, our talents. It lets others feed on their own energy and helps us to stand up for ourselves and to not feel responsible for the problems of others. I know I read a lot, but it just kept getting better. So really powerful emotional support as well. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and click, and Kanan's gonna talk about her. So when we assign these, it's kind of like at this point, we're like, okay, we know who's getting what based on their love. So here's Kanan to talk about On Guard.
Yes, my most favorite oil, if anybody knows me. So On Guard, spicy, supportive, and warming. Yes. So top ingredients: wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary. Primary benefits: supports healthy immune and respiratory function, protects against environmental threats, supports the body's natural antioxidant defenses, promotes healthy circulation, energizing and uplifting aromas. Sorry, my baby does not want to sleep. So that's a lot of benefits. And I feel like I use it for all those reasons. On Guard is every order, every month, always multiple bottles all over my house. I travel with it. It's in my purse. It's at work because I work on 7 to 8 patients a day. On Guard is a must. Like everybody should definitely have this in their medicine cabinet. We use it in
surgeon talking. Oh, hi. Sorry, I'm telling my husband. Sorry.
Oh, hi.
I didn't realize you guys could hear me. Sorry. Okay.
So On Guard has multiple ways to be used. Killing germs, airborne pathogens, seasonal immune boost, colds and flus, exactly what we're in right now. Staph, strep throat and cough, cold sores, warts, infected wounds, oral health. So no wonder I gravitate to On Guard. Oral health, same thing. But On Guard has a lot of products that doTERRA sells. If you don't have a doTERRA account yet, you'll once you enroll, you'll see all the On Guard products. But getting this oil was my first oil given to me by my dad, and it made me just want to jump into oils. It was that good, and it's safe to ingest. My kids ingest every day On Guard. Topically, we apply it at night. We put it in our diffuser. I'm pretty hardcore. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I will take my bottle of On Guard, I'll open it up, and I'll just do a couple of drops straight in my mouth. My dad's currently in the hospital, so I've been doing a ton of On Guard. Before entering the hospital, before entering his room, and he has On Guard right next to his bed on his tray. And because there's so many yucky things in the hospital. So that's On Guard's a heavy hitter, and we're in the craziness of cold and flu season, and so you need to hit this hard. And I do it every day on my kids and myself, and my husband's sick right now and he's been doing it a lot too. But every couple of hours, it's very safe to apply to your children every couple of hours when they're battling something. I use it everywhere, so you can use it on your countertops, however you choose. Liza touched a little bit on the emotion standpoint, and it does tell you that it is a protective blend, so the immune system protection, but also the emotional protection. So whenever, and this was told to me, I didn't really read it, but a very close friend told me, whenever you're very uncomfortable, you're entering into an uncomfortable situation, you want to apply your On Guard. And you can dilute, but you don't have to. You can take your On Guard straight into your hand, a couple of drops, rub it right over your heart. And that's your protection. Very negative feelings, negative people, just negative things in this world. And that's your protection blend. There's clove in it, and that's the correlation with dental and oral health. Cinnamon, there's orange. We went over this. And orange is very uplifting. Cinnamon can be very uplifting as well. So that emotional boost, that uplifting sense, if you need that. Anybody else want to add anything for On Guard? I could go on forever, but I'm not. Everybody good? Okay, so after you bought On Guard and you got your Slim and Sassy free. And I do use Slim and Sassy, and I can't even say that I'm religious about it. I wish my sister Chelsea was on here. She's working tonight. She's on the 9 and 10 o'clock news, so she couldn't jump on. But she could probably talk about Slim and Sassy for an hour, because this is her oil that she purchases every month. And so Slim and Sassy is cleansing, spicy, refreshing. Top ingredients: grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon. So similar, a lot of similarities to On Guard as far as that we see the cinnamon in there. The primary benefits: promotes healthy metabolism, helps manage hunger cravings when taken with water, diuretic, stimulant, and calorie-free. So that's great. Slim and Sassy is our metabolic blend. I have played around with this oil a bit, and not just for dieting purposes, but because it is a metabolic blend. So I noticed that when I take it, my allergies, I have seasonal allergies, it's better and it's more under control. So I started giving it to my son, my 10-year-old, who has crazy allergies, and I noticed his allergies are better. So not just for the purpose of losing weight, there's it's a metabolic blend. So your body, the metabolism and what's going on in your body. So like for us in the allergy perspective, it has worked well. So uses: weight loss, obesity, low metabolism, cellulite. Cellulite is actually linked to the grapefruit part of it. That's a grapefruit ingredient. Lymphatic stimulant and support congestions, cold, similar to On Guard. Blood sugar balance, detoxification and cleansing. Digestive stimulant, high cholesterol, gallbladder issues and stones, inflammation issues. So much more than just your diet oil, because I've heard that too, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to take this because I need to lose weight or not eat so much. The part that I want to really push is that it helps support your gut. Peppermint and ginger are stomach oils or gut supporting oils. So gut issues or just tummy upset, if you're going throughout the day and you have your Slim and Sassy with you, will help get you through whatever's going on with your tummy, will help that gut support if you have a leaky gut or if you're having just digestive issues. The gut, from the emotional standpoint, is very important. So this oil has an emotional connection. The grapefruit, the lemon, those citrus oils are very uplifting. And because the peppermint and the ginger supports your gut, that's a lot where we hold our any emotion, different type of emotions, we often hold it in our gut. And this, once I read that, I knew why it helped my oldest boy a lot, because he's a very emotional child. He's a firstborn and he carries everything in his gut. So not just for the dieting purposes, your emotional well-being, if you're just taking it from that point. This can be taken internally, so you can put it in your water, you can put it in your tea, or just put it in an empty veggie cap and take it daily. I think that's kind of the most important thing I wanted to talk about. Also, you can apply topically. You don't need to ingest. So same way that we've been talking about wrist, bottom of the feet, those are all nice places to apply the Slim and Sassy as well. Anything else that you'd like to add, Liza?
I just wanted to say real quick, as far as the topical application too, you can like go on Pinterest or even Google. People make their own like body wraps with this oil. You know, like back there were like those popular wraps that help you like slim down or whatever. So there's like recipes for that. I also wanted to, and then people say that they just rub it on their bodies for their cellulite, topically with some coconut oil. Both On Guard and Slim & Sassy have that cinnamon, which is also an oil that's said to really be the most powerful to helping balance blood sugar. So that comes up a lot, or comes up in both of these slides. So I want to see the chat, but I don't know exactly how. Okay, sorry. I know somebody tried to chat and I wanted to see it. Oh, was it you? Okay, here, Maris, unmute your, I'll unmute you. Oh, why is it not where you do it? Okay,
Sorry.
there. No.
I just said about the dry brushing, because I know that Kanani shared that, and then that was on the page too about dry brushing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't tried that yet, but yes, thank you for sharing that. And there's more information about this and all these oils on our group page as well. So, all right, Kate, you're up.
Hi, everyone. So like they were saying earlier, everyone has their favorites. So it was obvious that Serenity was going to be mine. Serenity is our restful blend. It's sweet, warm, calming, relaxing. And just like it says, it's our restful blend because it helps so much with sleep. Our top ingredients are lavender, cedarwood, hoe wood, ylang ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver root, vanilla, and then Hawaiian sandalwood. And all those are all these really just calming oils put together. So it's this really nice sweet aroma that when I first smelled it, I got it in this like Mother's Day kit. It was like 4 years ago maybe. I just was attracted to it immediately. We have oils that, just kind of speak to us. And so this one has always been one that I turn to for rest, because it's something that is just super important for me, because I have crazy life like we all do. I mean, we're all got things going on with our life. So rest is important to me. And this one I have in my routine so well that it just couldn't live without it. So primary benefits that you see, again, promotes relaxation and a restful sleeping environment. When accompanied with doTERRA Serenity Restful Complex Soft Gels, it provides a natural solution for a restful night's sleep. So Serenity on its own, you wouldn't want to put that into a soft gel. I'm not sure exactly which oil that's in there that you wouldn't want to take internally. So they created the soft gel formula so that it could be taken internally. So together, you are going to be set to sleep for a while and stay asleep, which I think is, some people, we have issues with waking up in the middle of the night and having that ticking list, which I do. So I'll take the soft gels when a lot's going on, or maybe something stressful. And so if I'm taking them every day for a while too, I can totally tell a difference. So sometimes I go in and out of taking them, but I always have my Serenity. Again, the uses: insomnia and sleep issues, stress and anxiety. It's great for a fussy baby or a restless child. I usually start with my kids, always do lavender, but when they come out of the room, then I have my two go-tos are Serenity for them and then Peace, kind of my backups if lavender's not doing the trick. It's also great for tension and mood swings, which I haven't really used it for tension too much before. I read it earlier tonight, so I was getting ready for the call. So that's something that I'm going to try. It makes sense. If it's restful for your body, it's going to be restful for your muscles. It's also good for skincare, perfume, calms fears and nervousness, great for bath and bedtime routine. So it'd be great in Epsom salt bath to get you ready for bed. And they even have a restful bath blend, like a little bath bar, which I use as well. It's great for anger, agitation, irritability. So any of those kind of crazy emotions that perhaps you have, your kids, this one is a great one to use. And it's also great to blend with balance, which I'm going to talk to you about in just a bit. But definitely it's those emotions that go up and down. You're going to want to use your Serenity. I have my emotions book. So for Serenity, it says Serenity has a powerful effect on the mind and heart. It is a uniquely calming blend that invites individuals to relinquish feelings of stress, anxiousness, and being overwhelmed. Serenity can support those who struggle with an overactive mind and inability to unwind. From feelings of responsibility to feelings of worry, Serenity assists in quieting the mind, releasing agitation, and inviting calm. So this is definitely one that does that for me. And I know I've probably said this a few times, but this is something I'll always take with me on the airplane because I do get a little anxious with that, especially turbulence. Normal flying is fine, but the turbulence gets me. And I'll just do a bunch of deep inhales. And it just triggers something within me. And I just kind of relax and let it go. So this is one that I could not live without. And this is the one that's on my LRP every single month because I use so much of it every day. Is there anything anyone wants to add for Serenity? All right, so the next one is one that I use every now and then. I definitely am a more Serenity kind of gal, but I know Liza really loves balance, especially for Xyler, which is great because my kids are more lavender Serenity kids. Balance is balancing. It is stabilizing, centering. It's sweet. It has this really airy, fresh, woody smell because it has all these wonderful woody and root oils, including spruce, whole wood, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. And osmanthus is that flower that's also in Beautiful, that smells so wonderful. And the kids blend that it's in is in Brave. So yeah, I love that flower scent. It just is really, has this, it's just super sweet. I'm not sure what it is about it, just really inviting. And it's also in Balance. So Balance, the primary benefits, it promotes a whole body sense of relaxation. It helps ease anxious feelings, evokes and feelings of tranquility and balance. Uses: stress and anxiety, jet lag, travel anxiety, mood swings and stress, neurological conditions, convulsions, epilepsy and Parkinson's, tranquility and meditation, anger and rage, fear, grief, and trauma. And I also wrote a couple different things that I saw in my other book. Definitely helps with the anger. I guess that's really similar to what I said already. The book, though, has some interesting thoughts, because all of the oils that you're seeing in balance are all tree and root oils. So that combination really helps with kind of balancing you and bringing you to the earth. So when you're using this oil, you definitely want to put it on the bottom of your feet, because that is your grounding place, and that's going to be connecting you to your background, to your past. So it says here, balance is primarily a combination of tree and root oils. Trees live in the present moment. They are not in a hurry. They are stable. Balance is soft energy, is excellent for calming overactive children who have difficulty settling down. It is also a wonderful remedy for those who need to reconnect with their roots. Balance strengthens a connection with the lower body and with the earth. These connections are especially important when the upper faculties have been overused due to excessive thinking, speaking, or spiritual activity. So a lot of the things with balance and serenity are really parallel. Very similar ways to use them. This one also you do not want to take internal. It's just for aromatic use and using topically. They have similar emotional connections that you want to use it for. And a lot of times I will put them together to kind of have that extra boost of calm, relax, and balance. Yeah, these are definitely two of the top emotional oils that we have, kind of the original ones.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely one of possibly the most popular BOGO of the week, I think, in terms of sales. And doTERRA has been known to save the best for last, but really just incredible oils that were offered. And like she mentioned, don't be afraid to blend blends together. Some of my favorite diffuser blends are On Guard and Breathe, Balance and Serenity together, even putting those in a roller. So yeah, don't be afraid to mix and match, especially when it comes to diffusing. If you don't like it, you can always just start over again. So all right, so just to kind of recap, there is a free doTERRA ebook. If you're on our team, and most of us are, it's in a pinned post in our private Facebook group page. If you're not on Facebook and you're only on Instagram, it's also posted on my Instagram page. If you go to my profile, and I have all of my links, Linktree or whatever I use, it says February BOGO ebook. If you really can't find it, please contact one of us, your enroller. But we try to get all these resources out. Sometimes it's just a matter of looking. I know there's so much out there in social media land, but it is in our pin post in our private VIP group. Okay, so tons of other great resources for you, recipes and so forth, for you to learn more about the BOGOs from this week. Just a quick reminder about doTERRA's promotions this month. Amazing promotion for Deep Blue. Spend 200 PV and get a free Deep Blue rub and a free Deep Blue oil. If you process your loyalty rewards program order before the 15th of the month, you'll also get a free lemongrass. And then Mito 2 Max is 10% off. This is an amazing supplement, a natural energy supplement, but it's really supportive for the adrenal glands and just to, to help with energy production and maintaining that throughout the day. So just wanted to remind you guys of all of doTERRA's amazing promos this month. Everyone, I think here on the call right now live are members already, but for those of you that are tuning in and you want to get started with doTERRA, maybe you got your hands on some BOGOs, you want to try some new products, more products, you want to start incorporating more natural solutions into your life. These are two of our most popular kits, and both of these kits will get you the promo this month of the free Deep Blue rub and the Deep Blue oil as well. All right, and so that's basically our BOGO after party. I'm so grateful for everyone for taking the time. We never mean for these to go as long as they do, but there's always so much great information for us to share. If you're new to essential oils, if you haven't had a membership overview yet, if you have a bunch of oils that you don't know what to do with, please reach out to your enroller. We are not about sales. We are about service. We want to get oils into people's homes and hands because we know how amazing they are. But ultimately, they do you no good if you don't know what to do with them. So it's really important to all of us that are on this call that perhaps enrolled you, invited you, I am all of your uplines, but you know, as it goes down, we're all your mentors here. So please, please, please reach out to us if you have questions. If you're not part of our Essential Island Living Facebook group, you know what, I'm going to do something real quick just because I think this is so important and maybe I need to do more is I want to just pop on real quick to Facebook and show you guys, if you don't know how to use the search feature yet. I know not everyone is on Facebook, and I just gotta do a quick plug that if you're not, you might want to join just so that you can be able to access our VIP community. I try to post a lot of stuff on Instagram too, and I know, oh crap, I changed my password. What is it? Oh man, of course this is going to happen right now when I'm with you guys. Oh yes. Okay. So, but our VIP community here on your phone, it looks a little bit different. You would search on the top bar, but if you come here and you search in the group, so like for instance, tonight we did, you know, I talked about pettigrain and I actually searched in our community for information about pettigrain to go back and reference. One of my favorite ones that I show people is like cough. You can go in here, you can go ahead and look and everything anyone has ever posted, like it just takes the keyword cough and it'll show you all the posts that have ever come up. So rollers, roller recipes, cough syrup, nighttime blends, everything. So I just feel like this group is such a great resource of information. So like I said, I know Sarah's on here. She doesn't have a Facebook, but girl, you might want to just make one just so you can get in our group. No, you're like, no, negator. Okay, fine. You can ask me. But anyway, so please be utilizing the resources that we offer. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. This was by far, the call is recorded and I'll go ahead and I'm going to link it in our Facebook page, but it'll also be, it lives on our YouTube page as well. My YouTube page is a public page and it'll be posted there as well. I'm pretty sure the link to my YouTube page, Sarah, is on that links page on my bio. But for anybody that you want to share this with too, that maybe didn't make it tonight, but you want to make sure they're getting the education that they deserve and need to use their oils effectively, please be sure to pass on the link. All right, everybody, thank you so much. If you're a builder or sharer, we're going to log off so that we can stop this call and get this call recorded, and then we're going to log right back on so that we can do a quick, maybe 20-minute business call tonight. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Happy BOGO week. See you next time. Bye.